With the ongoing battle to create the biggest, baddest military in the world, each country is inventing the best of the best military equipment and tanks. The vehicles have gotten larger, stronger, faster, and more vicious. The technology has advanced so much over the past decade that the military vehicles now are exciting but frightening. Here are the 10 most insane military vehicles in the world. 10. Renault Sherpa Light. This massive 4x4 French military machine weighs a massive 11 tons and can carry 2,500 kilograms, 5,500 pounds of equipment and personnel. This diesel Renault MD5 4-cylinder engine has a max output of 215 horsepower and 2,300 RPM and is completely bulletproof to protect the soldiers for combat situations. With a wheelbase of 13.5 feet, the Sherpa Light is well suited for off-road and desert travel and a 5-person special forces team. Since 2006, the French defense has commissioned this military vehicle and it's being used by NATO and several other countries. Just looking at this impressive armored vehicle, it's clear that you do not want to be within firing range of it because it will cause some serious damage. 9. Jabaria Defense Systems Multiple Cradle Launcher. This enormous machine from the UAE is the world's largest rocket launcher with 240 tubes. 240 rockets all pointed in your direction that can all be fired in less than 2 minutes is probably gonna have you running and screaming for the hills. The rocket launchers are placed on a sort of trailer of an Oshkosh M1070, a heavy equipment military truck that holds the 122mm rockets. If you think you're macho, wait until you come face to face with this killing machine. And if you walk away without shaking or wetting yourself out of fear, maybe you're equipped to be one of the 3 men who have the raging job of operating the launcher. 8. Kugelpanzer. The Germans during World War II created a bizarre-looking one-man armored vehicle. The large cylindrical steel ball is definitely the strangest tank we've seen and looks like a snail curled up in its shell. At first glance, this grey steel plated circle doesn't look like a vehicle at all, but the almost 2-ton ball, covered in 5mm of armor, had a lowly output of 25 horsepower and traveled at 5 miles per hour. Many can run faster than that. The one-person tank has a small slit for the soldier to see through and fire their weapon, but as a defense, the Kugelpanzer is pretty useless. There are many theories as to why this strange, slow, weak military machine was invented, but who really knows what went on in the minds of Nazi engineers? All we know is that this tank, now painted black, can be seen today in the Tank Museum in Moscow, and we can take a look at it firsthand to try and come up with our own theories about this insane creation. 7. Tsar Tank. Picture 2 massive unicycles combined at the center from the wheel bolts attached to a small tank going into war. How would anyone survive driving in this weird contraption? Produced during the First World War, this strange Russian armored tank may not look fast, but each 29-foot wheel it was powered by a 250 horsepower engine. For 1914, a 250 horsepower engine is really quite the feat. A single prototype was built in the hopes of navigating the terrains of World War I to fit into narrow trenches that the vehicles at the time could not accommodate. Sadly, this funny-looking model was far too heavy and never made it into the action, although it remains by far one of the strangest military tanks ever created. 6. The Fox Armored Car. This petite 4-wheel armored car built by General Motors during World War II doesn't seem like it could do much harm, but this is one of those illusions where you should never judge a book by its cover. This British lightweight aluminium armored car comes fitted with an L-37 A2 coaxial machine gun and an L-21 Radon cannon. Although that does seem like tiny weapons compared to the bewildering 240 rocket launcher, this British machine was fierce in its heyday. Equipped with 0.5 and 0.3 Browning machine guns and enough space for a 4-person crew, the timid look of this vehicle was what made it that much more effective and cool. The cutesy machine was a born killer, making this vehicle so much more appealing. 5. Buffalo Clearance Vehicle. The six-wheel gigantic General Dynamics monster truck-looking military vehicle is not a combat car like the others on the list, but is definitely not something you want to go head-to-head with in a fight. This heavily protected 76,000-pound and 27-foot-long vehicle is used to clear the way by raking and extracting soil and other materials with its robotic arm and iron claw so that the special forces are able to fight. Furnished with a Cat C13 12.5-liter engine, this enormous road clearer produces 440 horsepower at 1,800 RPM, 1,483 pound-foot of torque at 1,400 RPM, and can reach a maximum speed of 55 miles per hour. Clearing the road in a dangerous area means that the Buffalo clearance needs to be massively protected. Its steel wheels and armor allows for the vehicles to drive over unseen IEDs or landmines without the crew or the vehicle sustaining major injuries, and the BAE aluminium armor protects the vehicle from grenade attacks. The best of the best technology and equipment is used in this clearing machine. Most armor and gear we had no idea even existed. 4. Cybernetic Anthropomorphous Machine Cam, the walking truck. The 11-foot cybernetic walking robot is something we envision when we picture man versus robot wars. And if this is what the robots are like, humans don't stand a chance. Designed by General Electric, this innovative military truck comes with 4 legs, so it walks like an animal and is operated by one person. GE won an army contract in the 1960s to produce these terrifying futuristic robot vehicles that would be able to carry half a ton of people and artillery through rough terrain. Although the cam was not as practical as it was cool, GE still produces the robotic arm used in this walking truck for other beneficial defense vehicles. Even though production ended on this insane and creative animalistic vehicle, it definitely goes down in history as one of the boldest designs that will definitely be seen in the future. 3. Hamza 6x6. The Pakistani Cavalier Group developed this monster 6x6 MCV. This intense military car fits 13 soldiers, which include a driver and a gunman. This aggressive-looking fighter camo car comes equipped with a 6-cylinder diesel turbocharged engine, has a 500 horsepower output at 1,800 RPM, and a max speed of 68 miles per hour. The 6-speed automatic 22-ton vehicle can carry men and equipment up to 7 tons and can hold a vast range of deadly weaponry. Meant for combat situations, the Pakistani ambush-protected vehicle is mine-resistant and can sustain a blow of 10 kilograms TNT under the wheel. This heavily armored, beastly-looking car is jaw-droppingly terrifying, especially when their machine guns and cannons are pointing at you. 2. Cougar 6x6. Another deadly monster 6-wheeler military machine, the Cougar is the main form of transportation and combat in Iraq and Afghanistan. The General Dynamics manufactured also has an intense armor, is mine-resistant, ambush-protected, and has withstood many blasts over the decade. Perfect for combat and uneven off-road situations, its Caterpillar 7-cylinder diesel engine has a 330 horsepower output and a top speed of 65 miles per hour. Just one of these massive fighting vehicles can cost up to $450,000. That's more than some multi-millionaires' luxurious sports cars. Also, equipped with an array of heavy machinery, the Cougar can carry multiple machine guns and grenade launchers, a surefire killer. 1. MZKT 79221. America is known for believing in the concept of bigger is better, but when it comes to military equipment, the Russians have the big, mighty, frightening vehicles all figured out. Built in the Soviet era, this gigantic 65-foot-long 16-wheeler transporting missile launcher vehicle can carry a missile up to a ridiculous 80 tons. Powered by a Russian Yar-MZ M47 V12 diesel engine with an output of 800 horsepower, this huge vehicle is used to transport and mobily launch R-2-2PM-2 Topol-M intercontinental missiles. So while the vehicle itself is not deadly, the killer missiles they carry and launch are insanely destructive, so don't get on the Russians' bad side. Just seeing how the MZKT loads and offloads the missiles so smoothly and with ease is absolutely bewildering and an incredible sight to see. Knowing how powerful and indestructible these vehicles are can be scary or extremely exciting. There are even some older military vehicles that you can own now and parade around your neighborhood and terrify that one irritating neighbor that doesn't keep the music down at night. And these killer cars are just the beginning of the military might. If only we knew what the big military countries are hiding in their secret agents, it would probably blow our minds.